the computer agrees after I've run this game through it like a lot of times, and the first many times it didn't really know how this was going to become an advantage for white, but now I've sort of taught it how white is supposed to play, analyzing a lot of variations and stuff, looking at a lot of comments also done by grandmasters and such. So the bishop moves back, and you can see how few moves black has to his disposal. First he declined the bishop trade, now he offers it simply because he got nothing better to do. You may ask, why not take the pawn on a4? And like maybe you or me would consider this, but the queen cannot afford to leave the c6 square, and not for a pawn at any rate, because it is needed for the defense, and it is needed to keep this pressure, also to keep the knight out of the game. Now short plays a very strong move, so the rook does not only function in this direction, but also in this direction. I mean, and it's called having a rook on the 7th, which is often viewed as a strategical goal in itself, simply because it attacks the base of the pawns, and it restricts black's movement. As you can see from this rook e8 to f8, black really doesn't have much to do, while white is able to develop his play. So what Nigel Short has done brilliantly is to get black in a bind. So now Nigel goes for the bishop exchange, picking that dark squared bishop off. It is of course recaptured, and the rook joins the battle in another dimension, not only functioning on in one direction, but in two directions, thus doubling its worth. Again, we see that the black really doesn't have much to do in this position. Just moving the rooks back and forth, trying to find something. But now the queen throws this check. The computer believes that it is not the strongest move, but it is because the computer is not programmed to be able to see Nigel Short's brilliant idea. And we will see how this is the case in a short while. The king has to go here. He cannot go to h6. It will just be checkmate in 2 moves. So now Nigel plays h4, and the computer says that all the advantage that white had has disappeared, and that this position is equal now, because it reckons that black can just play h5 and will have no problems. Material is equal, and there's a lot of pressure from white, yes, but how will you actually use it? Because as much material as white has in the attack, just as much does black has in the defense. And the computer is right that h5 is the strongest move, but the engine computer and I suppose everybody else got a shock from what Nigel Short played next, which is the start of a brilliant combination that wins the game by force. It has been won for a long time now, but Nigel had to see this motif, this idea, attacking idea, to play these moves and get this position. So what is the winning move from here? What is the move that the computer cannot find? You can pause the video and try to find it yourself. I'll give you a clue. It's like if it looks like that White has maximized the effectiveness of all his pieces. Like the queen is on the ideal square, the rooks are on their ideal squares, the knight cannot move because checkmate is threatened, and so there's no more forces to attack the king with. But as we have discussed, black has no good moves, so white has all the time in the world, and found what, when you know what to do, it looks like the simplest idea, but even my quad-core computer running the strongest chess program in the world is not able to find the idea before I've shown it to it. The idea and the move played is king to gh2. Computer says, "Oh, this is a draw. It's completely equal. Why on earth would you play this move?" Well, black has to just play something. This is also what Timman played, is also what the computer suggests, saying, still believing that the position is equal. But the march of the king continues, king to g3. Computer still haven't got a clue. Says move the rook back. Timman does, and now comes rook to f4. And now suddenly the computer starts thinking, oh, now it gets it. Now it gets it, because the idea is so simple now, just to move the king here, and checkmate is threatened. There's absolutely nothing to do, and Timman resigned. So the king in a position with queen, 2 rooks, and a bishop, and almost all the pawns except 1 7 pawns on the board, then the king was able, Nigel Short was able to create a position where the king could march from g1 to h2 to g3 to f4 to g5, and being able to come all the way to h6, which is truly remarkable and beautiful, I find. So the position is over because if the king reaches h6, there's the checkmate, and if the king tries to block this, then there's just takes, check, and a checkmate will follow quickly. So there's absolutely nothing to do. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will have a nice day.